Everybody, it's Patrick from the Pitch Deck. We've got another Armory game for you guys. This was round 2. Unfortunately, I had a Prism match round 1, and I can't do anything about that, so that was an auto loss. I lost the die roll for this Oldhim match. He is on Heart of Ice and Sledge. This player is also an Iyslander player, so he knows all the Iyslander weaknesses as well.
Come in with Cranial Crush for 8. If it deals 4 damage, you don't get to draw cards during your next turn, which probably isn't going to come up, but I'm swinging for 8. Okay.
I believe what's in my hand is Ice Eternal and a City's Chill, because I think I can just hold on to the City's Chill and then play it with the blue that if I find enough drawing. That's because you just don't want to lose those at the very early on stages.
Let's do City's Chill. Okay. Pitching. This. Yep. That'll be it. Okay. Yep.
So if turn 0 was his first turn, this should be turn 1, and this turn 1, unfortunately, is quite bad.
I'm going to activate Heart of Ice and say, as an action, everything you do will cost an additional $1 this turn with Go Again. Response. It is good to go. Okay.
I unfortunately have 3 red cards. 2 freezing points that are, of course, red, and then 1 red Ether Ice Vein and 1 blue. I would think it might be Arctic Incarceration, but I'm not sure. And I have Ice Eternal in my arsenal. And here we go with CNC.
Pummel plus 4 if it hits.
And that's a red pummel.
1 card in hand or 2? 1 card in hand.
So currently I'm having a freezing point in hand and a blue card as well. However, the thing is I need to...
With $2 floating.
If I'm going to lose the card, I should have just paid into the Frostbites just to keep the cards around. However, that should have been a better play. Instead of taking the damage, losing the arsenal, and I discard the other freezing point. So it is off to a terrible start for me for his second turn. Because there's 2 freezing points in the deck, and both of them are gone, and 1 Ice Eternal is gone. That means I have 2 Ice Eternals left in the deck to close this game out against a Heart of Ice Oldhim. And I need to set up fast after that second turn that he had. The better thing would have been just pay to have 2 Frostbites. It's nothing into it, but he did do Heart of Ice, so that was also a thing I should have done. But there's 3 reds in my hand, so it's not about the Frostbites. It's about cycling the cards so they don't get destroyed, and then maybe go into second cycle.
I just wanted to cycle that card out.
Here he's just using Crown at the end of my turn because he wants to cycle that card.
Heart of Ice. Two Frosty Boys. Okay. Alright, it's good. Alright. Paying 6 for Sledge, come in for 6. 1 card in hand. Yep. sorry, this is... I'm sure it's the...
I'm dumb.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Waning Moon, but...
Alright, these pop.
Yep.
Let's do...
It was the right hand. Oh, in a row. Okay.
I would say
that.
Okay.
and if you had an attack reaction that you wanted to plus it, you would say no reaction, and I'd be like,
I have money. Let's see if I can do this.
Remember, everything costs one more.
I'll just say 6.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yep. Personal and pass.
So I had 4 champs from the triple. Mordred.
Is this the frostbite?
Yes.
Okay.
Arsenal or moved in my turn.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
So it's 10 right there.
Go ahead.
Then you do swarm. Didn't block that out, so I got 2. So that's 8. 18.
Rouse the Ancients.
And here is
Cranial
a
Crush and Enlightened
Rouse the
Strike,
Ancients,
so it is
and that
7
is
go
one of the
again.
things I'm going to be changing actually for a another sideboard change that I'm going to try. At the very least, I'm going to put all 3 blizzards in, but not hypothermia, because I don't want to clog up my arsenal with hypothermia just sitting there for potential 2 or 3 turns. I think the blizzard would be the best bet. Even though it doesn't block, it's just going to potentially
2.
waste that go again.
Let's do.
And it depends on what they're going to do for the go again, and I can't remember what he showed me.
No
But
defensive
you
move.
can just pay into the pledge if with 3 blues if need be. Depends on what they show you as well.
Triggers.
Yep.
And then also, back when I had it was the Sonata.
But Blizzard, I think, is going to go make its way into the main against
3.
Oldhim.
It's still in my party.
This
with
good Oldhims will bring in the Zealous Beltings, the Rousey Ancients, the E-Strikes.
Okay, taking 1 damage.
Yep.
1 extra frostbite.
You can just do an E-Strike into a Command and Conquer, which is devastating to us.
Move to end.
And it's good.
Okay.
Well, these I like just because it means you can't get go again. That's the only thing I like about those. I actually have one
I'm going to in my step.
Yeah, we're gonna crown. Okay, good.
I forgot there's only 12 text.
I'm good.
Okay. Heart of Ice.
I'm not finding an opening for chip damage, but typically chip damage isn't the most important. So you'll just block it out at that point, or keep the cards and then heavier with me, which means I have no cards in my hand for blocking. Typically, blocking is the play that you want to do the most. A full setup against a Heart of Ice Oldhim, the most damage you'll do from Ice Eternal, because that's the way you want to do it. With a Oldhim that has Heart of Ice, is 3 potions plus tunic, and 3 blues, which would be 16 resources, meaning that X will equal 8. At that point, you're going to be doing 24 damage plus another 8 on top, which would be about 31 points, and then you can moon for 34, so that means you are going to have some left over. It's just that's the only thing that it can do for the most damage in 1 turn with Ice Eternal. However, of course,
Yeah, so
you can do more with
Ending
Freezing Point. It's just
Gaining
it's the
1
Heart of Ice
Yep.
activation makes it harder, and that's why that is the most important way to end the game against Heart of Ice Oldhim.
I didn't know if you want to do anything.
No.
You don't have to break the pots every single time, or every single Heart of or Ice Eternal when the Heart of Ice is active. That is opening for you to do it, and you can just get some small burst damage and then lower it, even if you have 1 or 2 hexes onto the battlefield.
Let's go with Heart of Ice.
Heart of Ice is good.
Okay.
Right now, my setup is not great with this life total.
E-Strike.
And again, here comes the E-Strike for Go Again, and this is one of the things that I want to try to correct.
Taking 2.
Okay.
I block 1 here because I want to see what the next one is.
Sledge coming in for 6.
Yeah, played against it 2 weeks ago.
I mean, or just waiting out until like, they're gonna have it. Yeah, I was thinking he has to have it. He needs it just because he's a swingy guy.
Yes.
Take 3.
Even then,
Yep. Personal pass.
I often check if my reds have enough reds, because I could just peek or maybe place a blue down, which would be one of these amulets. I don't know if the odds are against me of getting another full red hand or 3 cards that are red, depending on what's the card in arsenal as well.
Yep, so
He does
Freeze
Heart of
Marrow,
Ice, and I
Potato.
respond with getting
And I'll wait for that.
Yeah.
potentially this card,
So this is in response to Heart of Ice.
Yeah, it is.
Frozen, or 1 resource, which is
pay the dollar.
not the most detrimental for them. They can just swing for 6 in the sledge.
It is good.
I don't want more defense capabilities.
CNC. Take 3.
Well, but some of them might be really hard to pull, honestly. There's no age
We'll say 5 of 6 and taking 1 damage. And then move to your actions.
I decide not to pay into it.
Like to pummel for +4 and discard a card if it hits.
So it's 10.
I do have a defense reaction in my hand, so I think that's what I should have done, is pay into it. A little less damage from this pummel, but I didn't know it was coming. I could pay into the Blue Brother in Arms, make it go up to 7. I'm taking 2 less damage here. And I think I just discard the defense reaction because I'm not going to be having the... It's not more about the frostbites just based off the damage. It's just you're not going to be able to get Waning Moon off of the used Sigil of Permafrost because they're just going to block all of it, and they're not going to take the damage for the frostbites as well. So depending on no matter how much the hexes, how many hexes that you have onto their side of the field. So I end up just discarding the Sigil and calling it a day. This is very slow setup.
Move to my end step.
Okay.
You only really need 1 more amulet. But the thing is, it's just chip damage at this point. I can't kill him with 3 pots and an Ice Eternal. It'll be a big chunk, like I said before. It's potentially 31 damage without Moon. Which, if I didn't do any other damage now, would be, you would leave him at 8.
Hard is good.
Okay. Number 6.
I think I showed Oasis and Fate, or Sync. Which is fine, I can pay 1 blue into that.
You still have Arsenal, correct?
I have. This is in hand.
That's in hand, okay.
Yes. I didn't Arsenal this turn. So. $2.
So bad. I cannot. That's just. I draw back.
Missing.
Okay. Take 2.
Yep.
Right. Personal pass.
Cornet peak.
I think I kept
$1.
the other card instead of doing this. I think I just wanted to peek on his turn because, which it is a little bit of damage mitigation, but it also helps with pommel turns because I've only seen 2 of the 3 red pommels. And the go again off of him, off of the Zealous Belting, E-Strikes, and things of such. It just makes it a little bit more easier on me in that way. So think of it as a better way of protecting against damage than Skullcap can.
This will trigger first.
Yep. So discard unless I pay $2.
Yep.
Pay 2. It's coming in for 3.
Correct.
Oasis.
At least I got this Oasis Respite out of his arsenal because I don't know if it's going to be a pommel or not. So it's nice that I have the Oasis out of there. However, I've taken out Blue Ice Vein right now, and especially for higher AB, it's just not as impressive. It would be, and it is also less impressive with a chill on the board because it's not a May effect. You can't choose when you want to remove a counter, which would have been great. However, I gotta watch out how many times I can use those counters, because then the chill's gone and I don't have any way to strip his hand for some OTK shenanigans, or at least a really huge turn.
This is not an activated ability, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm asking if this is not a
Activated
activated
abilities are
because
ones that have-
just making sure, because
Okay.
I'm just gonna get this out of my hand for peak, and then I'm not using peak that much.
Go ahead.
Oh, you don't have Arsenal, sorry.
No, no.
Okay.
Switch.
I'm dumb. Cover up 4, and then
Taking 1.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you blocked 5 of 6, right? You
Oh,
lose
sorry,
1.
I'm dumb. Yeah.
Move to Arsenal.
Frost Hex.
Okay.
Well, this will be my second Frost Hex, but
Yep.
with this life total, it's not looking great.
Frosty Rock. Alright, that's fine.
Cordy. No worries.
Nice. Good end.
Yep. Heart of Ice.
And there's my third hex, but it's
I
I would have to be really fast on my potions to be able to get them out.
Okay.
And I'm just responding to his Heart of Ice. And at this point, I think Oldhim would just rather Sledge and Heart of Ice try to get my cards down. It's not inevitable, but like you're going to be taking some damage. You're trying to find one more amulet and 2 more epots just to be able to get it down really, really, really nice. You could do 2 epots, but that is just basically 1 energy potion is going to be 1 damage. That's 1 damage of arcane and then 1 frostbite, which with 3 frost hexes, that's 4 missing damage per epot. And here I'm blocking for 4. I'm taking 2 because my hand didn't look great, and then the one that I want is going to be the Arsenal card at this point. I think it might be a nice Eternal.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do anything.
Nope, I'm good with that though.
Alright, I'm okay with this.
Okay. Heart of Ice.
It could be a nice Eternal, but I can't remember what's in Arsenal, and I'm thinking if I can deploy it now with... Can I survive? He already used 2 of the 3 Command and Conquers. Actually, I think he used all of them already, which is good because all my defense reactions that could be left in the deck is wide open for me to survive with.
Good, I think.
And at this point, I think this deck ran 3 Sync, 3 Sigil, 3 Faith Scene. So 9. Plus another 3 Oasis Respite.
Crown.
Yep.
Should we just go again? So 5 go again.
Yeah, I know. Just like go to the gas station and bring it.
Because I would just start.
That really makes me a little.
Yeah. Because I would just start throwing the auras. Don't need room anymore.
So
Okay.
4 token.
Yep.
Blue Brothers in Arms isn't a bad card. It helps your blue count round out a little bit. Either the Blue Brothers in Arms was taken from the Fate Foreseen, which means that the Fate Foreseen is not in this deck, I think. And that's what it took for the spot of switching.
Mine is to 3
Yep.
to you.
All right. What advice?
I see that he's pitching a red here instead of a blue, which he may be just more cautious towards the end of my life total for resources. And that he doesn't need the Oakenol to kill me. And this is where I pop the Ice Eternal, which I think should have been a little bit later. For about half the time of the round. Plenty of time to potentially block and set up a little bit more, but I think it was a little bit preemptive, and I think I wanted just some damage. Or that or scared to survive.
Three as well, so this will be for 3 left over. At
So
3.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $11.
So we'll just leave it to 1 right there.
Okay. So X is 5.
X is 5, so 10. So 10
Okay.
resources. This will be going first. Insidious.
Yep. Okay.
And then amulet.
Okay. Will pay.
So 5 and 5.
I mean 5 and 5.
So like.
I believe this is coming in for 5 Arcane and
yeah,
5 Frostbites.
5 arcane.
Yeah.
Basically, well.
Will AB3 take 2? And then.
AB3 and taking 2.
Yeah.
And then this is 5. So
Yeah, so it's going to attempt to do 15 to me. I'm going to block 2 of it and take 13.
And then a knife fused with a red ice bolt, which isn't great, but if you combine it with Sigil Permafrost, it's not too bad.
That's an ice bolt, is that right?
But that's typically towards a lower life total at that point. With him being at 24, it's not going to do much.
Move to end.
Okay.
I believe I have 1 left over.
but it's something. It's still gonna have to buy.
Heart of Ice.
And I will come in with the Vinia.
Yeah, it depends on because if you're Ooh, I'm happy about that.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
So we'll say yes.
And then, if I really want to be cheeky and keep my
6.
I will stop You just target yourself and then just check. Yes, Reaper just checks for arcane. Yep. So, and then give your face a straight marker unless you
Was it?
Top 5. Take 1.
We were talking about that the other day.
Since Peak is gone, it's not gonna really matter with Channel Lake Fridges, but Channel Lake Fridges aren't really that great into Oldhim too much. But if they're doing a lot of Crown with Heart of Ice, with some Go Again, so it does catch up on them a little bit, but it's just, it'd be a meta call at that point where they reveal what equipment they have or what they're doing, and at that point you might be able to play it early if you do get them early to help slow them down.
I mean, yeah, it hurts my turn, but also. Technically best. We'll invest in you.
Sledge.
Still like sacrificing one of your.
Yeah, I don't just start
I mean, yeah. I just don't know what it was. You want to take part in everything?
I think it could be an amulet in hand, that's why that, or like it could be a blizzard too. I think I might have some blizzards in there, but I'm not sure if I brought them in.
No defensive reactions.
Okay. Alright.
And we will fuse with this.
Okay.
2.
So taking 2 currently.
Yeah, but I'm still in my priority, so I want to make
Yeah.
safe if I want to do this or not.
No problem.
I mean, against road blade, I mean, maybe a one of them.
Pop Striders.
Okay.
Pop Energy Potion.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
Red Ice Bolt. I completely
I
forgot
used
did
Tunic
Metacarpus.
because, or one resource floating and then the 2 epots, but I forget that I'm having Metacarpus at this point. I'm like kind of like mentally checked out.
Crown.
Crown's fine.
I thought I would be able to pump it to 6, but I don't have that, so.
AB3, so effective AB4, take 1.
Taking 1.
I think you crowned before, so this will be just 1
Do I
damage.
get a window when you're paying into it to do another instant?
That is a question for Judge.
Maybe Steven?
Maybe. Can anybody answer a Judge question?
Hey, Steven. Hey, Steven. When I place this at like instant, right, and he's paying into it, can I do an another
So-
instant?
When I'm paying for Arcane Barrier for Ice Bolt,
Yes.
because this is on this, he did this, he fused.
Yep.
Can he shoot me with Waning Moon to give me more Frostbites? Because right now I'm only taking one from this.
He can retain priority, yes, and hit you with the wing.
Okay, is that before I pay for Arcane Barrier though?
He can. He has the option.
Okay, but
Because what will happen is he can choose to say play Ice Bolt and respond to Ice Bolt and swing the Waning Moon at you.
Okay, well, so he plays Ice Bolt.
Yes.
If I move to paying Arcane Barrier step, can he then Waning
He can
Moon
choose
me?
to not let it resolve.
Okay, okay,
He can say not let it resolve and still respond to the card.
okay.
Because there's not really a step. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
the card resolves. So
Yeah.
he's just choosing to not let it resolve.
Okay.
And that's when the Waning Moon will come in.
Yeah, we'll do that.
No. I'll AB3 that.
Alright, then take one here and then one frostbite.
Yep. So take one Frostbite.
One damage.
Yep. Move to end.
Moved in. Okay. You hammered, right?
Yeah, sorry, you took 2, because you blocked 4.
Yeah, just make sure. Move to end if you want to crown.
Nope.
Okay. You also crowned too.
We get that ruling cleared up, and
Yeah, because you
were
were
able
for 5, so it was
to
effective AB4.
try to get more damage in for more frostbites, which is more hex damage.
Come in with Rouse the Ancients, revealing Cranial Crush and Disable to be 7 go again.
But this one will be greedy with 2 blues in his hand. And then a card in Arsenal.
That's fair. But that's a really hard skill to learn. I don't learn it either.
He tried passive. He was trying passive.
Let's do.
Okay. Pummel, +4.
Might as well go through the motions.
Sure.
Might as well just play it out, but
Yep. I mean, I'll go ahead and AB3 it. Get 3 Frostbites.
Yep.
Smash for lethal.
Yep.
Right. Good game.
thanks for watching, everybody.
Setup was punished early.
Mm-hmm.
Early.